Okay, so today we're actually going to be primering the car. If you guys remember, on the last video, I still had to do all the body work and pretty much get it ready for primer. And I did. I fixed all the damage that it had, and I did all the masking. Now it's pretty much ready for primer. If you guys remember from the last video, we have some damage in this area. It's pretty much straight now and it's fixed. It took a hit from the back, and this part was like sticking out, and it was damaged on the back bumper. If you guys remember, this part right here was missing, like somebody ripped a chunk off of it. It was probably from when it got hit. And I went ahead with some fiberglass and kind of shaped it back to the way it's supposed to be. Like all this right here, this is actually fiberglass. And I had to sand it and shape it like the other side. I could have bought another bumper, but I just couldn't find one in time, so I decided to just make a little corner for it. A little bit of filler I had to put on here as well. A little ding that I had right here too. It's pretty much filled and should be ready for primer. If you guys remember, the last owner that had this, or whoever primered this car before me, they used so much spray paint and so many layers that it like wrinkled up on them. I don't know if you can see that texture. That's because they put so much on it. So I had to come in with the 80 grit and try to bring it down as much as I could, and hopefully when I put in my primer it'll be smooth and hopefully hide all of these ugly creases that it has. And they only did this to both of the fenders and the front bumper, so I had to go a little heavy on these parts to get rid of all that. So hopefully it comes out pretty good, but we'll see after the primer. I already primered some of the random parts that I was able to do. For example, gas cap, the grill. I did the back bumper, and that's the rear duckbill for the rear window. And I mixed my primer so it'll spray really thick. Hopefully it'll fill in all these gouges and scratches and imperfections that the bumper had. Well, not just the bumper, the complete car. And obviously they're not all going to be gone, but hopefully most of them. And I'll go ahead and do the rest of the car. Okay, so the car is fully primered now, and I'm just gonna go ahead and block sand it, and then hopefully it looks good after that, and we'll go ahead and paint it. Okay, so the Civic's pretty much ready for base coat. I already scuffed the primer, cleaned it with a tack cloth, and so we're gonna go ahead and spray the base coat and see how it goes.
A few moments later.
As you can see, the paint started to react to something. You can see it down here too. You could also see it on the rear bumper. If you look at the lip right here, the paint is just chipping off. It's like literally crumbling out, and I'm thinking it's reacting to some paint that it had under. Maybe, see that black paint right there? That's probably spray paint, and sometimes car paint doesn't get along with spray paint, and it does stuff like this. So I'm gonna have to redo this, and it's not fun, but I have to do it, and it's happening. See right there. It really sucks. Wish I didn't have to do this, but I guess it's just part of painting. So okay, so this is the next day, and the car is pretty much done. I was able to pretty much fix all the little problems that it had. Not all of them, but most of it. I was able to fix most of it. As you can see, you can still see it a little bit right there. The one on the front bumper is still a little visible. It's still there a little, you can still see it. So the car's done, and I just need to put it together, put all the pieces back into place, and do a little cleanup, and probably wash it, and it should be ready to go. So here it is. I got the Civic back in one piece. Came out really nice. I don't know if you remember, but the lights were all fogged up. They had a corrosion on them. We did wet sand them and polish them. Also threw a sprayed clear coat after them, and they came out really clean. They look really good. I still need to find another tail light because this one's still broken, and there's somebody that's selling them locally, but I messaged him, he doesn't reply. So while painting this car, we came across some problems where the paint was shrinking and it was splitting open, and at some point kind of had to paint the car twice, and it was somewhat of a headache, but after all, we got it done and it came out really nice. So we just gotta go out for a drive now. So oh, and I still need to find a door panel. That's another thing too.